from the Shoe Chick Art Studio in fabulous downtown Las Vegas. Woo woo! What am I doing today? We're doing some lion. But before I get started, okay, I'm the Shoe Chick because kids in Africa get shoes when you paint with me. And if you'd like to know the bigger story, you can visit my website at www.theshoechickstore.com. And my full bio is listed on there. Okay, so before I open, I'm going to sing my theme song. It's called This Little Light of Mine. If you know it, please sing along. People have told me I've been such a bright light through the pandemic, and I take that very, very seriously. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. That I want you to know that you're a bright light. You have a bright light. You have something to share with the world as well. So here we go. Are you ready? All right, you ready? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Woo! Like I always say, that's a super big deal because I am not a singer. But it just gets me in the right vibe for what we're going to do today. And I do want you to remember, you are a bright light. You have something to share with the world, and it is your purpose while you're on this planet to find what your gift and talent is, get really, really good at it, and then share it with the world. That is Oprah Winfrey. That's not my quote, but I love when she said that. It makes so much sense. Okay, so the lion. The lion is one of my favorite paintings because it's so colorful. And look, we start with a blank canvas. That's kind of scary to a lot of you, right? But don't be scared. We're going to get it together. Okay, so the first thing that we always do is we put a light coat of water on our canvas. You might have a brush like this, or you might have a brush like this, or you might have your own paint brushes. You're going to use the biggest brush that you have, and you're going to do a light coat of water on the canvas. And the reason why you're doing that is that you're activating the canvas so it's ready to accept paint. Now this is a really good one that you can prep with gesso or just paint it all white the night before if you want to really get into painting and see what the difference is. Because we always, usually it's traced, we usually put water out all around it. But when you start with a blank, fresh canvas and you put a coat of white paint on first or the gesso on first, you'll get an idea of why we prep canvases. But in the paint party world, we usually just put a light coat of water on it. In your kit, you might have received, well, you definitely received an apron. You might want to put that on over your head, tie it in the back, and that is to protect your clothing against the paint. We are painting with acrylic paints today. Acrylic paints are, Acrylic paints are paints that are easily to wash off your hands, and they don't wash so easily off other things. They don't wash so easily out of your clothes, and they don't wash so easily out of off your skin and whatnot. Okay, I'm gonna make some minor adjustments here. I'm so sorry to do that to you, but this is live. We never know what might happen when we're doing a live video. Like I just have some technical difficulties going on right now, but we're going to work those out. I also have construction going on downtown, so you might get a bunch of fun stuff going on by the time we finish this painting. Okay, so light coat of water. I'm still looking around because, like I said, it's something weird technical thing going on just now. So light coat of water, and then what we're going to do is we're going to paint our canvas white. We're going to paint it yellow. I told you there'd be some things going on here. So the sponge brush or your biggest brush, and paint the canvas yellow. Okay? And while we're doing that, I'm going to play a little theme music here, which is totally random. Because, I've got tagged on a couple of videos and they got taken down. So, totally random music. And while I'm fixing my technical difficulties, you're going to paint your canvas yellow. Okay? My random music playing. Hopefully that fixes my technical problem. We will see. Okay, all yellow. You're probably ahead of me, which is good. If it's not flowing the way you want, by now you know you're going to add, if you paint it with me, I always say add a little bit of water. Just a little bit. The reason why I don't have a big painting to show you of the lion is because I sold it. Isn't that cool? So for those of you who have not painted with me before, I'm going to take you about 90% of the painting. Take you through about 90% of the painting. And then you're going to paint the rest on your own. Hope you all are having a great week. It is actually Thursday here in Las Vegas. About 105 degrees today. I don't usually paint with a sponge brush, but I'm doing this for coverage. Flipping it back and forth from side to side. If you have your own paint brushes, you're going to use the biggest brush that you have to paint the entire canvas yellow. I mean, even painting the sides, because if you paint the sides, you won't need a frame for your masterpiece. You can just hang it right up on the wall. Alright, it doesn't have to be perfect because the light is going to take up most of the painting. This is called underpainting. Now, if you want your underpainting to dry a little bit, well, you do want your underpainting to dry a little bit before we move on to the next step. You can take a blow dryer and blow it dry, or you can take your tray, and I think you probably have a round paper plate because there's a zillion colors in this painting. And you can fan it. Hopefully it's not too wet. Because what we're going to do next is we're going to use the chalk to draw the lion. If you don't like using chalk, you can grab a pencil, but we're going to draw the lion. Now, I know that's a little scary to you, but I swear, if you can do a triangle, a diamond, and a couple circles, you can do the lion. For real. That's all. Look at it. His nose is like an upside down triangle, right? His eye is like a diamond. And then the upper part of his face and the bottom part of his face is makes like two circles. So circle, diamond, and a triangle, you got this. You guys have your wine and your music ready? So it's pretty dry. Mine is pretty dry to the touch here. And that's what we pretty much want. And what I'm going to do is, if you're not finished, just take a moment. But if you're not finished, just do the best that you can to finish. If you are finished, get your white chalk or a pencil if you have a pencil at home. This is my favorite wine glass. Isn't it beautiful? We might paint wine glasses next. We'll see what happens. Okay, on another episode, not on this one. All right, so where is his nose at on this picture? His nose is about halfway. It starts about halfway of the canvas right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. What's halfway? Right here. That halfway point is going to be the top of his nose. So I'm just going to draw a line down like that, and that's going to represent his nose. It's kind of like an upside down triangle, right? You with me? I hope you can see that. And then from his nose, his eye is kind of like at an angle. And the eye, I'm going to extend his nose out a little bit, because the eye is pretty much finished at the corner of the nose. So I'm looking at the eye, and because it's on an angle, you might want to draw an angle line first. And then you're going to draw like a diamond shape. You can't really see it on my canvas, but you know what a diamond is, right? So his nose extends out pretty much as far. You might have to make it bigger. I'm making mine bigger because the nose extends out as far as the end of his eye does, okay? So I'm just going to do mine lightly in black because I want you to be able to see it at home. You can do this. I want you to be able to see it on the video. You can do this if you want. So his nose is like a triangle. I'm doing it in black because I want you to be able to see, because you can't really see my chalk lines good. Triangle, right? And then his eye is just going to match up right. The end of his eye is going to be like the end of his nose there. All right? Don't be obsessed with it. I mean, if it's really freaking you out, do it any way that you want. But if you're trying to come close to the reference photo, that's what we're going to do. Now, the objective, like I always say, is not to create this painting exactly like mine. The object is to have a good time and experience the flow of the paint in creating, because this is your masterpiece. Make it any way you want. It's impossible. It's not impossible, but it wouldn't make it very fun if we went just line by line and tried to get every color right on this. I don't think it would be fun at all. So, anyway, going into my black paint with my flat tip paintbrush, the second, you have three. You have a big one, a medium one, and a small one. Excuse me. The small one we're going to call a detail brush. So we're going to take this flat brush and we're going to paint in his nose, because the nose is a big reference point for the whole painting. So I'm looking at my reference photo, and it's kind of like curved in his nose. Like at that line isn't really straight. It's kind of curved. So you can paint it curved in, or you can paint it straight. Totally up to you. I wonder if you can hear like the bulldozer and all the construction that's going on. I thought about not filming today. Then I thought, that's what makes my videos unique, because they are what they are. I mean, they're not fancy, you know? They're live! And some days you have construction, some days you don't. Some days I drop things, some days I don't. All right, so his nose. I put a little hump on that top line, give it a little bit more character than just a straight line. And then I'm painting it in. I like when we don't trace, because you have a lot of creative freedom. Like even right now, like I made his nose a little longer than what's in the reference photo, but I'm okay with that. But I do want to make sure that I get it really black, like finish that, close that line. I don't want any white space between the edge of the canvas and his nose. All right? Next, I'm going to do the outline of that eye that I penciled in. And it's at an angle there. It's kind of, that's where your diamond shape comes in. And since I already have black on my paintbrush, I'm going to draw a little circle right in the middle of the top line. That's going to be his eye. And I'm going to paint it in. Look how already with just that eye, the painting is coming to life there, right? Now we want these lines to be pretty smooth for his nose. Like I have a little bumpiness there. I don't like that. So I'm going to smooth out the line, a little more paint. Maybe a little water on your paintbrush to smooth it out a little bit. Whatever you need to do. So look, we're done. Just kidding. But it kind of is coming to life, right? So, okay, so what are we going to do next? we're going to do the 2 circles for his face, okay? So his face, if you look at it in terms of circles, one goes just below his nose for the upper part of his face, and then for the part that has all the white in it, it looks like another circle, right? So if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm going to go halfway between this point and this point, and I'm going to start the upper part by drawing a circle. And then this bottom part is going to extend pretty far down for the other part of his face. Okay, now I did that with a very dry brush in black. You might want to do it with your chalk first and then go from there, okay? So that's my lion's face. Now, if you look around the lion's face, it's kind of outlined with brown and with black. And since we still have black on our paintbrush, I'm reaching for my blue paper towel that I always seem to forget when I'm doing lives. I'm going to go into the brown I already have black on my paintbrush, so I'm going to take black, and I'm going to go around the top of his face with just lines. Now this bottom part is mostly white, but I'm just going to do a few little random furry marks there. And between here and here, since I still have black on my paintbrush, I was going to do his frown, but I'm not going to do that yet because we're going to paint this all in white. So just going to clean up a few lines around his eye and all that good stuff. If you look at the reference photo, at the very top of his mane, there's a little brown. So I'm not even gonna wash my paintbrush out. I just went right into the brown. We're not gonna do a lot of washing of the paintbrush. I went into the brown and I just gonna add a little bit of brown around the top there. And then a lot of times you want to work, especially with this painting, you want to work with whatever color that you have on here. So I have brown on my paintbrush. I'm just going to randomly go out of my mane here, around his face, and do the mane by just doing some quick strokes of brown here and there. Doesn't that look fun? If you're trying to do exactly like the reference photo, take a look at the reference photo and see where there's brown. This painting was inspired by my brother. My brother is a Leo, and I did this because I wanted to paint him something. Isn't that cool? All right, so you have a gazillion colors on your palette. Now, I could take you around this palette, all these different colors, tell you where to place them, or you could just have fun and place them on your own. And I think that that's a better way to teach this painting. So you can take your sponge brush and do different colors throughout, or you can take this flat brush and do different colors throughout. I am going to take the sponge brush, and when you do the colors, I don't want to wash my brush out. So I'm going to do the colors in kind of a systematic way. Like I'm going to do yellow, well I'm going to do orange because we already have yellow. So I'm going to do orange first, and the way I'm cleaning off my paintbrush, I'm not even going into my water. If you use a sponge brush, just go like this. If you're using the medium brush, squish it around in your water and then wipe it off. So the sponge brush, I'm going to do yellow next. I'm going to use yellow right behind every brown line that I have. I'm sorry, I said yellow, but I'm doing orange. Now, is there colors down below this beard part? Yes, there are. There's color everywhere. So I'm going to do orange. I could, once again, try to follow my reference photo, but I think it would drive me insane. I like orange and brown next to each other. Then I'm going to go to my next color. I'm going to take my sponge brush and just wiping it off, no water, just on that blue paper towel. And I think I'm going to do green next. put some streaks of green in there. Again, if you don't like the way the sponge brush is, use the medium brush that you have. Just doesn't give you the coverage that you need, I don't think. Green, green, green. There's so many colors in this. Anytime anybody orders this picture, I'm like, oh, great. No, I'm just kidding. I like doing it because of the colors. But there's a lot in this kit, right? You could probably paint 2 of these pictures with the colors you have in the kit. So anyway, I did that. Then next to the green, I'm going to put blue. You can just squeeze your paintbrush on there and go blue. I'm putting blue next to where I have green everywhere. Doesn't this look fun? Blue, blue, blue. So this is a great picture, like for painting for kids for birthday parties and stuff, because it gives you such a sense of accomplishment, because nothing is traced. Now, if you look at his face, in the inner part of around the yellow face in his face, it's all different colors going on. So make sure, whatever you have on your paintbrush, that maybe you add a little swipe or 2 in his face. The upper part, because the bottom part is going to pretty much be white, right? So when you have working with each color, like I'm going to go back into my orange and I'm going to add a little bit of orange to his face, just totally random. And then what else have I used? I used a little brown. I could have put a little brown in his face when I was working with brown. Right? And what other colors haven't I used? Again, just wiping my paintbrush off on the paper towel. I'm going to go into red. And I'm going to add, red's going to go right next to my blue. When you put red next to blue, it kind of turns it purple, but you even have purple, because I wanted you to have all the colors you needed to make this painting fun. So red everywhere, red, red, red. Even a little red in his face here and there. Okay. Woo! I like him. Doesn't look anything like the reference photo, which I am totally okay with, because I'm going to pull it together. Okay, so now if you really look at the reference photos, there's variations of the colors that you can get by adding a little bit of white to each other, right? To each color. So I am squishing this paintbrush around in the water. I want to get like a pink color, so I'm lifting a little bit of white paint out of one of those cups, putting it on my tray here. You probably have a round tray. I'm mixing it with white paint, and I'm going to make pink, and I'm going to add that. So if you want to even add another level of interest to your painting, of creativity to your painting, you can actually mix every color, right? You can mix every color and add even more color to your lion. So I have pink going on here, and I don't know if you noticed, but there's pink going right over the top of his eyelid, which I think is pretty important. So I'm going to do that. And there's some more pink in his face right over the top of his nose. I kind of like that, so I'm going to do that there. And then there's a little pink there. And then I'm just going to randomly put pink next to all the red. So pretty much what I'm doing is, every time I make a lighter version of the color, I put it next to the darker version. Does that make sense? So I'm going to make a light blue, lifting a little bit of white out of my white. Lifting a little bit of blue, mixing them together on my mixing tray, and I'm making a light blue. And I'm going to put it right on top of my dark blue. Isn't that cool? So you got about 2, 4, 6 different colors. You could actually have 12 different variations by just adding a little bit of white to it, right? So this is my light blue. Something I noticed about the light blue, there's a really big light blue right here in the corner of the painting. Right there on the edge. I'm going to do that because I like the way that looks on the reference photo. Alright? So in his face, pretty much done with that. I'm going to take the white now. I'm going to clean my paintbrush out pretty darn good. Wipe it off on my paper towel pretty darn good. Go into my white paint. And I'm going to paint this entire area just white. And then we're going to work on the texture effect that's going on there. And I want to shorten my nose a little bit, so I'm going over it, the edge, and changing the shape of his nose. And you can do that if you want. And then this area, his beard. I don't know what that's really called on a lion. I don't think it's called a beard, but I'm calling it a beard. His snout is white. And then along the edges is where of this area is where we get to play around and give it that textured effect that we want. By using strokes of white, adding a little bit of gray. I painted this before with a really big group. It was so fun. If you look at my Facebook page, you can find it. So now that I have this all painted in white, what I'm going to do is along the edges, I'm just going to do random brush strokes to create that furry, oops, how did I get brown on there? I don't even know how I got brown on there, but I'll just wash it off. Because there are no mistakes, happy little accidents, right? Now ideally, you want this area to be dry because you want that white to show up pretty good. So you might have to fan it or blow it. But look how it's coming to life. I love it! Okay. I have white on my paintbrush. Where else is there white in the painting? Well, hopefully the other areas of the painting are drying. While we're working on this beard. I'm really going to clean this area up right here. Might have to add 2 coats out there to get the white effect that you want. I have white on my paintbrush right now. I'm going to paint around his eyeball. I'm going to paint that whole area in right now white, cleaning up the eye a little bit so it's smooth. White's always the last color we use on the painting to put all of the highlights on. So I'm working on that eye. I'm really making sure I get all that yellow covered up for the eye. Now I'm going to add another coat of paint in his beard here. Make sure your brush is clean. Mine has a little red on it. I'm not happy with that. So I'm washing my brush out a little. Going into my white paint. And working with the beard a little bit more. Now to make it look like it has more of a textured effect in his beard, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash out my paintbrush. I'm going to mix me up a little bit of gray. So lifting a little bit of white out of my cup, lifting a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of black paint and making gray, if you can see that in the corner there. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to put some brush strokes. I need my gray to just be a little bit darker, so I'm just adding a little bit of black paint. And I'm going around the beard just a little bit more. And you'll see the effect that I'm after once you get started. gray around his eye. The inner part of his eye, there's a little bit of gray. Take a look at your reference photo. A little bit of gray in there. I think that's the only places that we really have gray. But of course you're welcome to put it anywhere you like. Okay. I'm going to make his, the beard on him a little bit longer. Just because I want to. Totally up to you. I don't like all that yellow down there that's showing down there, so I'm going to paint it in green, and I'm going to paint it in with a little bit of blue. I just don't like all that yellow space we had down there. All right? Washing out my paintbrush once again, really good. Then I'm going to go into my black paint, and I'm going to randomly place some black lines in here. The black really makes a statement, kind of blends the colors together. Not really, or it separates the colors actually, but just gives it like, I don't know, just kind of a clean finish. And you'll see what I mean when you put those brush strokes of black on there. So they're more curved on the sides and maybe a little bit more straight at the top. Man, you see how you can really have a lot of fun with this painting? And I have black on my paintbrush right now, so I'm going to do his mouth. Now, it'd be kind of hard to chalk it in because white on white is hard to see. But so you're just going to have to trust yourself. So it's going to be somewhere in between the end of his nose and the end of his beard that you're going to draw his face on there. And he's kind of got a mean scowl going on there. You could do it really thin and then just kind of work with it. I like how it kind of brought him to life, right? Once it dries, if you want to thin out the line, you can go behind it in white, okay? Washing out my paintbrush really, really good in the water because black is such a strong color. Wiping it off on my paper towel. Going into my white paint now. Now, all those colors that we put on there should be dry. The only one that's not dry is the black. And I'm not going after the black. I am going to put a few white highlights here and there. Like, I'm putting quite a few around his face. My favorite one is like the reflection that you put on his nose. I like that one. And then there's also a little bit of white going on here on his nose too. And then there's just random white brush strokes here and there. I love this painting. I think it's fun. I was going to do more animals like this, but this never really worked out. You can see the white really makes the colors pop. Just kind of stay away from that black because it's going to turn into brown. Now, my objective is to take you about 90% through the painting, which I think I've done my job. This might be 95%. You're not done. Play around with this painting. I mean, make sure his beard and stuff is really white. I think you probably need to put another coat of white paint on his beard. Don't smudge it like mine because I can't wait. I want to clean up the lines on his face a little bit. You can see the more color you have, the better. I don't even think I use purple. My purple still has a lid on it. So I want to see what it looks like. So I'm going to take off the lid to my purple right now. And I'm adding a few brush strokes of purple. And I carefully chose the purple right by the blue. But you could put it anywhere you want. Of course, I can make a lighter blue, a lighter purple, and have a whole nother color going on there, right? Man, just so beautiful, just so many colors. How fun is that? I have fun. Keep working on it. Extend your colors all the way to the end of the canvas. So if there's some points where it stops and there's too much yellow, maybe extend it a little bit further out. Have fun. Average paint party, we say, is usually 2 hours. I think an average paint party should be 3 hours. Get your drink going, get your music going. Enjoy the flow of the paint and all these vibrant colors in the lion. Thank you so much for painting with me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Angelique Paints. Follow me on Facebook under the Shoe Chick Art Studio or Angelique Daniels. Please post and tag me in your pictures, paintings. I'd love to see them. I ship anywhere. So if you would like to have a paint kit, inbox me, DM me, comment on YouTube. Whatever you need to do, get with me. I'd love to have you in my world. Thank you so much, everybody. Be safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye-bye.